Hello guys, and we're here today with not only an interesting deck, but we're here with a very awesome and special deck because this deck was requested by one of my subscribers, Mr. Mohammed. So I just want to point out that if you guys request any deck profile, any duels, I will get those to you as soon as I can. So I just want to point this out that this is not my channel, this is your guys' channel. You guys can tell me to build whatever and I will build it for you guys because I care about what you guys say. So this is a Ritual Beast deck. He asked me to build Ritual Beast, which is very interesting because, I mean, Cannahawk did get hit. I don't know why, but it did get hit. And so that is, of course, just interesting to know. And with the way the meta has changed, it's less, the playstyle is less of just going combinations, or steeds is actually the TCG name, and more on just making ulti Gaia Playo. Because if your opponent doesn't have their pendulums, you can just negate their pendulums with A's, and then they can't play. So it just becomes really good, really strong if you can do that. There is enough stun cards here to make the meta a little bit unhappy. We're running triple time space here because it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy. So Magi Spectres, Cosmos are all affected by that. Steeds doesn't target, so it's great against the Cosmo matchup, but not so good in the Magi Spectre matchup. It might be better to just side this card out entirely. And as long as with Cannahawk being at 1, it doesn't really interfere because you only tend to summon 1 Cannahawk. Like, there were times when you might have summoned 2, but most of the time you're gonna go with just making 1 and just keep on doing the loops and getting off your searches, hoping to make a guess on ulti Gaia Paleo whenever possible, because getting them up to 42 with an Apoleo and then just being able to attack and negate whatever, having 3-4 cards in hand that you can use to negate, really good. So let me just go into the Ritual Beast. If you guys don't know what they did, you can banish a Ritual Beast card from your graveyard and increase all Ritual Beast monsters gain 500, and that includes the ones that are not on the field. So if you summon out a new one, it will also gain that boost. Rampengu will banish a Ritual Beast monster from your extra deck and then send a Ritual Beast monster with the same type as that monster from the deck to your graveyard. You do not send Cannahawk. Do not send Cannahawk because that's your only Cannahawk. If Cannahawk leaves the field, you're not getting it back. So you cannot send Cannahawk to send Cannahawk. You have to send either Apoleo or Gaia Paleo or Petalfin to send either one of your Psychics or Petalfin or Apoleo. Cannahawk's still very important in the deck. You can banish a card, and it's just a gold sock. You get it 2 turns later. 2 turns later, you get that Ritual Beast card that you banished. And so he's very important to doing our combos, so that way you can just set up your banish pile to just, so that way you can tag out, because you can only special summon each of these cards, each of these monsters once per turn. So you want to make sure that you have different ones and you can summon each once. It's very hard to keep track of, but Defro does it very nicely, and if you get skilled enough, you should be able to do this IRL. Petalfin's very good in the deck because he will banish a Ritual Beast card from your hand and then bounce a card your opponent controls. So that is definitely really good. Get rid of some back row and then you can make your play and whatever. Win will special summon so all of these guys do either some sort of special summon or help you get out another Ritual Beast monster. Ritual Beast Tamer Win will special summon from Banished. Zephyr Pilica will special summon from Grave along with Lara. So we're running 2 of each of those. And including 2 wins, and then we're running 3 Elder because you want to open up with Elder. Drawing him late game can be kind of bad, but you want to open up with Elder because he normal summons when he gets in extra normal summon, which is awesome. Because again, you can only special summon each of these cards once per turn. You could then go for a Zephyr Pilica or Wind to special summon one from your banish if it's late game, or if it's still very early, you can summon out one from your hand, and they weren't supposed to summon, so you can make an Apoleo and then tag out the Apoleo and then either make a Petalfin or a Cannahawk and get off a search. So it's just really good, especially if you open up with him and Cannahawk. You can then banish a card and then like maybe an Apoleo and then special summon out a Cannahawk and Elder again after getting off a search with Cannahawk, and then you can get more cards to your hand, so it's just really strong. And Lara, like I said, will special summon from the graveyard. One Rejeki, side this out against some Magi Spectres. 3 upstarts for consistency, Gold Sark and Foolish to set up for our wins, our Zephyr Pilicas and our Laras. 3 time space because the Cosmos and Magi Spectres are rampant. I don't see any real point in running bottomless because you would just trigger the Cosmos ships. The Cosmo people can banish themselves, and the Magi Spectres are unaffected by it because they can't be destroyed. So time space, it can be costly, very costly, especially against Magi Spectres, but it is definitely very much worth it. So 3 of that. No need to run Mamilio though. No need to run Mamilio, and I really hope this card goes up in price because I have my playset, which is awesome. Now combinations where Steed just doesn't target, and if you control Ritual Beast monsters, destroy monsters on the field up to the number of Ritual Beast monsters you control. So you can just summon out a whole bunch, tag out Petalfin or whatever, and then summon out 2 more, and so you can pop 2, 3, maybe even 4 cards sometimes. Ambush is very important to the deck. It's hard to say which one you want. If you're facing Magi Spectres, you definitely want Ambush before Steeds. But I have been seeing some Magi Spectres playing Clown and Performage in the deck, so maybe it wouldn't be too bad. But Ritual Beast Ambush helps you set up for your later plays, and then maybe can even help you set up for a Gaia Paleo. If you do it right, your opponent can get over your monsters, you make a Petalfin, or you make an Apoleo, and they can't get over it. Ritual Beast Ambush will definitely help out. It'll just be summon them out, and you can get out a whole bunch, and then maybe go for a Gaia Paleo. 2 traps done because, well, Magi Spectres have a lot of traps, and people are all running. Time Space doesn't really affect this deck, but Grand Horn of Heaven will. You just have to be careful. If you think your opponent does have a counter trap, you have to activate beforehand, but if not, then you can just wait until they activate it and then chain it. So you just gotta play this card smart. It's very important because so much back row is very bad for this deck. It can't handle it, and so Trap Stun works really well, but it still allows you to run your stun cards. And then Vanities, Macro, both of those cards will hurt Cosmos, and both of these cards will hurt, well, Vanities might not hurt Magi Spectre so much, but it can be annoying, especially if they can't get over your monster, and then they can't do their inherent summon. But Macro will definitely hurt Magi Spectres a lot. They go for any of their trap cards, any play while Macro Cosmos up, they will just get wrecked. And so they'll probably try to either make Chidori or Castel when you're facing Magi Spectres, so you just have to be careful, have ways to stop that. And then Grand Horn of Heaven is of course to stop our inherent summons, side this out against Cosmos. And then Warning is of course just warning, it stops the inherent summons, it stops any summon pretty much. So it has definite utility here, but it can be very expensive, especially in combination with the Time Space Trap Holes. So you just need to be careful, and know when to activate everything. And that is it for the main deck. A lot of combos does involve the main deck just getting the monsters to your hand, so that way you can then, or getting them out, so that way you can then summon them out. So let's go into the extra deck. Ulti Gaia Paleo. This guy cannot tag out. Unlike any of these guys, you can send them back to the extra deck, which is a cost, which means Fiendish Chain doesn't do anything. Or like Breakthrough. Well, no, Breakthrough skill might. But this card will not tag out, but it requires a Ritual Beast Ulti monster, so one of these guys, a Ritual Beast Tamer, and a Spiritual Beast. So you need all 3, but he can, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, banish a Ritual Beast from your hand, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So pretty much your opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you, for like 3 cards, maybe even 4 cards if you can do it really, really well. Ulti Paleo is a starter. He's unaffected by other card effects, so that is definitely very useful, but that also means he will always have 2600 attack. Even if you do an Apoleo twice, he will always have 2600 attack. So he is a little bit weak, but definitely worth it. Ulti Cannahawk will return 2 of your banished to the graveyard, and then you can search a Ritual Beast card, but do note you only need to have one of those cards hit the graveyard in order to get off the search. So if you have, let's say you used Elder, Cannahawk, and you banished an Apoleo, you can target the Apoleo, the Cannahawk, and then use his other effect, because it's a quick effect, to bounce back to summon out the Elder and the Cannahawk. The Apoleo will go to the graveyard, and you will get the search off, and then you have a Cannahawk and an Elder. They will both spell summon once, so you cannot spell summon them again, but you could then banish something else, like maybe a Pilica or a Lara, and then go for a Petalfin or maybe another Cannahawk if you feel really risky. And then Petalfin cannot be destroyed by card effects and has 2800 defense, so it can be a little bit difficult to get over, and can be bumped up to 33 with Ulti Paleo. And then for Xyz, Dark Rebellion 101, Castel, Diamond Direwolf, which could be replaced with another Chidori if you really wanted to. And then Diaguster Emerald and the Abyss Roller. And that is it for the deck. As far as different things you can do with the deck, you could run Gradles in the deck if you really wanted to, just because Gradles are good. And you can't take the Cosmo monsters, you can take the Magi Spectres, but Gradles definitely have some decent utility. Early game, which could help you out in a variety of different ways. You never know what Gradle could do. And as well, if you really want to, you could put in Mamilio, Traptrix Mamilio, which can search out your time space, but it does require the normal summon, so you just have to be careful. And yeah, there's just a lot of different stuff you can do. I don't recommend running Torrential, Compulse, or Ring because those cards will trigger the, or will not do anything to the other decks. And I don't like Storming Mirrorforce at all. Like, people are running Storming Mirrorforce, and I don't understand why, because it just doesn't make sense to me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile, especially you, Mohammed, who requested this deck. And again, anybody can request a deck from me and I will make it with due haste. Just try to do it around Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday when I'm thinking of next week's decks, so that way I can just plan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.